Welcome to this brief introductory video from the ICGP on good feedback practice. This video, along with the additional videos in this series, will help acquaint you with the EPA structures which support feedback for learning in the GP training community. My name is Dr. Karina Hanley, and you will also see videos from my colleague Dr. Brian McAllister. We hope you find the series informative, and should any further clarification or assistance be needed, please feel free to contact us at curriculum@icgp.ie. In this video, we will explore best practice in feedback engagement and how the ICGP EPA software supports this. We understand that each of you wants to become the best GP you can become. With the help of international educational evidence, GP training is being moulded to guide your training towards that goal. As you will see, this starts with clear statements of your targets for professional performance. Then, at every point along your training, you can self-assess how a professional activity matches up to the statement of expected performance and seek feedback from experienced healthcare professionals around you to bring you closer to that goal. That goal is described in the 18 EPAs within ICGP EPA software. Please watch the video which explains EPAs if you haven't done this already, and a link to this video should appear at the top right of the screen now. Each EPA starts with a statement of the performance standard expected of the qualifying GP in that professional area. You can then drill down to greater detail in each professional activity where there is step-by-step guidance on how to become an independently practicing GP. Just as every doctor gets into the habit of keeping good clinical notes on their daily patient encounters, your training requires you to keep notes on your learning journey. ICGP EPA provides a supportive mechanism to make this quick and easy, recording how, over time and with many learning entries, you narrow the gap between being a novice GP trainee and becoming an independent practitioner. Now let us look at what is known about how to engage in good feedback practice to best support your learning. Good feedback practice is an egalitarian learning conversation. It is supportive co-creation of understanding about how to improve your performance the next time you undertake a similar clinical activity. The ICGP has actively engaged with the GP training community around the country to increase understanding of good feedback practice by both your clinical supervisors and educational supervisors. Now it is your turn to understand your role in good feedback practice. As a trainee, your role is to seek feedback. Choose any event of the day. It can be a patient encounter, a letter you have written, or a set of investigations you wish to order. Think about how well you have conducted this activity using guidance from ICGP EPA descriptors. With usage, you will quickly become familiar with the EPAs and their competencies and be able to choose some specific competencies on which to get an opinion on your performance. Keep the number of competencies you choose small. Short and more frequent observation will work best for you, and one or two will usually be sufficient. Approach any available healthcare professional who could be expected to have some expertise in the area. This can be your registrar, it could be the ward sister, it could be the hospital pharmacist. This example takes one of the 6 core competencies from the EPA on acute care of adults, the competency of specific problem-solving skills. This is one that you will probably use often at the beginning. Tell the person you have approached what you have done, what you might do differently next time, and then ask them their advice on what they think you should do differently next time. Ask for their opinion on how much supervision they think you need for the activity just completed, and record this opinion. Through your learning conversation, you'll understand a little better what plan will help you improve your performance, and record this plan. As you record this learning event, make sure the feedback you have been given is accurately recorded. There are 4 areas in good feedback practice, and we will go into them in a little more detail. This first one is about appreciation of feedback. Too often, feedback is not recognised as such by trainees, as the ICGP found out when we surveyed all the trainees and trainers nationally in 2018. 90% of trainers said they gave constructive feedback to their trainee, but this was recognised as feedback by only 44% of trainees. You will have a more satisfying, more efficient learning journey if you get into the habit of seeking and recognising feedback. While you will continue to hear terminology about feedback being given and received, these verbs convey a passivity which is less helpful to your learning. It is better to think of feedback as being co-created. You first evaluate your own work. You then receive an opinion on that evaluation, and you decide how much of that opinion is useful to help a future better performance. Agree a plan of action, which should be an achievable small step to a better performance, and record this. Nobody likes negative feedback, and we've all experienced it. You will hear corrective feedback, and some of it will feel unfair. Sometimes the other person just does not see things from your perspective. Take this in your stride. The shared goal is worthwhile, and there will always be something useful in the feedback. Current educational evidence puts strong emphasis on the feedback being credible to the learner, so feel justified to state it where you think feedback has not taken your experience into consideration. The more proactive you are in seeking feedback, the less sensitive you will become if you are surprised by what sounds like a criticism. Also, by being proactive in seeking feedback, you are likely to hear much more positive reinforcement of your skills and abilities than you expected, and in this way, your confidence will grow. Once the action plan to improve future performance is clear, the responsibility is yours as an adult learner to follow up on this action plan. There are a huge number of resources available to you in a wide variety of formats. From a quick check on medications.ie to listening to an ICGP dermatology podcast in the car, there are so many ways you can put an attractive learning plan into your ICGP EPA. We don't check up on you that you've completed. You are the qualified doctor in a specialist training program. But by routinely identifying your learning needs and habitually addressing them, you will find that your supervision levels progressively become lower over all the important areas of becoming a competent GP. We hope you will find this structure to be really useful in your training. Best of luck in your GP training and welcome to a great career.